All right, where we're after 6, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. We have regrets tonight from Councillor Mancini. So I'll begin with the land acknowledgement. The Halifax Regional Municipality is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaty signed in this territory and recognizes that we are all treaty people. All right, with that, the election of chair. So I will step down and turn it over to Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. I'll open the floor for nominations for the position of chair. Are there any requests for a nomination? Councillor Austin.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Kent, please.
Second. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Close nominations.
Are there? I will call 3 times to request if there are any nominations. Are there any requests for additional nominations? Are there any requests for additional nominations? Are there requests for any additional nominations? Hearing none, can I request a member make a move to appoint the councillor to the position of chair?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I should have voted on that. Am I allowed to vote on it?
Thank you all. Can I call the question?
Question.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. I'm happy to announce that Councillor Kent has been appointed chair of Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council, and I will now hand over the responsibility for the election of vice chair to our new chair. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for the endorsement. Happy to do this, and now we will move forward with the call for nominations for vice chair.
I still nominate Trish Purdy for vice chair.
Okay, is there a seconder? Second? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? And are there any further nominations? Hearing none, close the nominations. And it's over to you, Mr. Clerk, I think, or do I?
Thanks. If we can just make just a motion confirming the appointment just for procedure, then
Okay,
we'll
let's
go
do
ahead and do
that.
that.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Hensby, seconded by Councillor Austin. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed nay. The motion is carried. Thank you. So we've done that.
Motion to the minutes of October 3rd and 17th.
There's a motion to approve the October 3rd and 17th, seconded by Councillor Purdy. Seeing no requests for consideration, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Approval of order of business and approval of additions and deletions. Is there anything there, Mr. Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm that there have been no requests received from the clerk's office for either additions or deletions this evening.
Thank you. Are there any from the floor? Hearing none, we can have a vote. Can someone approve the order of business and additions and deletions?
So moved, Madam Chair.
So moved by Councillor Hensby, seconded by Councillor Purdy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion is carried. Business arising out of the minutes, we have none. I don't think, no. Call for declaration of conflicts of interest. Seeing none, we move on with motions of reconsideration. There are none. Motions of rescission, there are none. Motion, consideration of deferred business, none, and notice of table matters, none. Also, no hearings tonight. None. Correspondence, petitions, and delegations. Is there any correspondence, Mr. Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. The clerk's office has not received any correspondence to circulate this evening.
Okay, thank you. Are there any petitions?
Thank you, Chair. The clerk's office has not received any petitions either.
Members of council, are there any petitions out on the floor? No, moving forward, there are no presentations. We'll now open the floor to public participation. As we have general public participation at this section of the meeting, speakers can participate for a maximum of 5 minutes. Please keep your comments respectful, on topic, and directed to the chair. The clerk will hold up a yellow sign when you have 30 seconds remaining, and when your time is complete, the clerk will hold up a red sign. And then the chair will stop you if you keep going. There are no names on the list, so I will call 3 times to ask if there are any additional speakers in the audience. You would like to speak, would you? Okay, thank you. Would you like to come forward and take a seat there? You can speak to that mic and start with your name and your location, general location of your address, please.
My name's Alistair McLeod. I live at 188 Portland Street, and I visit the Alderney Market on a regular basis. I notice the numbers are increasing. People enjoy it very much. I also notice that the temperature rises when the crowds increase, and I discovered there's no water fountain or water tap that people could refresh themselves whilst they're in the market. So I'd like to ask you to consider possibly installing a water fountain in the Alderney market area.
Okay, is there any, this would be your opportunity to speak only. We wouldn't go back and forth with you, but afterwards we can ask councillors if they have any questions or would like to consider anything.
Sure.
So is there anything more than that you'd like to offer?
No?
No? Okay. Then thank you very much for participating. And we'll move on to further public participation if they'd like. So I'll call, is there any? What's that?
Am I allowed to ask
No, not
Councillor
right now.
Austin?
No, it would be later.
Okay.
You can find a way to make it a comment. Are there any citizens interested in speaking again? Any public participation interest? Calling once. I'll make the call again. Anyone interested in public participation? And seeing none, the third time, calling for public participation in this meeting. And questions have all been called. We will now close public participation. Thank you very much, Mr. Alistair. I'm not sure what your last name was. McLeod, yes, thank you. Okay. So, information's brought forward. There is none. Moving on to 14 reports. So we have a staff report, 14.1, a planning application plan app 223-00159, rezoning and development agreement for 107 Woodlawn Road. Dean McDougall, are you here? Would you like to speak to this one? No. So is anyone interested in putting this motion on the floor? Councillor Smith, no, Austin, sorry.
He's now gone.
Now he's gone, yes. Mixing up with my Board of Police Commission stuff.
I move that Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council, 1, give first reading to consider approval of the proposed amendment to the land use bylaw for Dartmouth as set out in attachment A of the staff report dated October 15th, 2024, to rezone the lands at 107 Woodlawn Road and PID 00072819 in Dartmouth from R1 single family dwelling zone to the R3 multiple family residential zone, medium density, and schedule a public hearing. I don't have to read
Seconder?
number 2, right? Do I have to read number 2, Mr.? Okay, I do. Oh, and 2, give notice of motion to consider the proposed development agreement as set out in attachment B of the staff report dated October 15th, 2024, and schedule a public hearing for the development agreement that shall be held concurrently with the indication, with that indicated in recommendation 1.
Seconded by Councillor Hensby. Is there anyone interested in speaking?
First reading.
First reading?
I have a question.
Okay, Councillor Purdy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So can you just explain recommendations 1 and 2, Dean? What does it mean?
Sure. Thank you, Councillor. Good evening. My name is Dean McDougall. So the first recommendation is to rezone the land. So the property needs to be rezoned from its current zoning R1 to be eligible to apply for a development agreement for the multi-unit dwelling. So it's a two-step process. But recharter amendments allow us to consider it under one public hearing, or community council to consider it under one public hearing.
May I ask a question?
Yep.
Yes, just very quickly. In this scenario, if one doesn't get through, two can't be considered, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? No, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, nay. The motion is carried. 14.1.2, council appointments to boards and committees. So we now have a requirement to appoint, make two appointments, one to Marine Drive Community Council, appoint one councillor to serve on the grants committee and for a term. Harbour East Marine Drive, yeah, sorry. We can start with that one. Do we have anyone interested in taking that position? Councillor Hensby is nominated by Councillor Purdy. Is there a seconder? Thank you. Councillor Austin is seconded. Any further? Call again. Any further? Last call. Any further interest? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion's carried. You are now our appointee to the Grants Committee. We also have a responsibility for nominating to serve, well, what's this? That's the Grants Committee. What's this?
These are just the additional motions to confirm the appointment. So yeah,
So I kind of moved over and skipped it. And went
yeah,
right
if
into
it's
it.
okay, just
Can
for
we consider it?
procedure case, we'll just make that additional motion.
Okay, so someone moved that the Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council nominate Councillor Hensby to serve on the Grants Committee. So moved by Councillor Purdy, seconded by Councillor Austin. All in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. I just skipped over it, didn't I? Okay, so now we need someone to serve, what's this last one? It's Grants Committee again.
The same. So technically, we would do all three motions. We would just open the public hearing, but it's not strictly necessary.
It's like three twice.
Yeah.
So do I or do I not have to do that?
Where we're considering, we can certainly make that motion as well. This is just to confirm the appointment that we have confirmed the last nomination of. Or we can skip it and it's
Okay,
very clear.
I'm gonna, we gotta do it if this, so this is, just to be very clear, this is now the formal appointment. The first one,
We have
let's
nominated
just go back. So the first one was nominations for interest. The second one was,
to nominate one of the members and then
which, that didn't do it. Okay, anyway, let's just do this. The Harbour, somebody put that motion on the floor, please. That third one. You guys have it?
I move that Harbour East Marine Drive Community Council appoint
Okay, that's
David
the difference.
Hensby to serve on the Grants Committee for a term to November 2026.
Have a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion is carried. David, you haven't had this much attention at community council in a long time. All right, we have, no. Yes, right. The Heritage Advisory Committee has nothing brought forward, no motions, no in-camera, added items. No, we have no added items. Notices of motion. Does anyone have a notice of motion? Date of the next meeting is December 11th, 2024. And could I have a motion for adjournment? There we go. Councillor Purdy.
That's 3 minutes off, Simon.
Thank you all very much. So I now will say, we can pass that along, your suggestion. It's always nice to hear back on situations like that. I think in general, though, just to give you a heads up, water fountains, since